That's why. Listen, I want to encourage Barbadians to come and discover Mellows in St. Joseph. No, I also want to tell you that there's some challenges with the roads, but you have a community down here that they are so special, so close knit. People, giving knocks and how you doing. Everybody knows everybody. Mellows is in 2024, but it feels like the Mellows that my father spoke of when he grew up years ago. Very community or oriented, and people just really love it here. I'm going to talk to Richard White and his mom, Margaret. We're going to chat with her as well. What is so special about Mellows?
Ah, man, just the peace and the quiet,
Mhm.
the greenery, the bush. Yeah, because Barbados is small. If you want the action and the noise and the stress, you can go to it.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, when you hit the top of the hill and you see that view, then everything you can let go of all
Wow.
of that stress.
Wow. I'm going to learn a little bit about. Come, Margaret. We're going to chat with Margaret White right now. And there's some history attached to you being here, your husband. And I want to know a little bit about him as well as your love for this particular place.
Well, I didn't expect to give a history lesson here now.
Not a lot.
No, no. Yeah, we lived here since what, about 74? You were
Mhm.
just about born, and we lived here ever since, and I just like it. I don't like villages closed, houses closed,
Close.
right,
Mhm.
and the noise and all of that. I just like it here. It's just, and after all those years, it's home for me,
Wow.
right? I got
Where
used
were
to
you
it.
originally born?
Switzerland.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Talk to me about even though people aren't really close, as in house on top of house in this part of Mellows, talk to me about that kind of sense of community.
Uh, I think we got a very good relationship. You mean that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with our neighbors, with the neighbors there. Even Ricky, although he's not home. And then the village people, they're all nice. They
Mm-hmm.
all know us, and yeah. So I think we have a very good community here. We can rely on each other in an emergency
That is what
anytime.
I was going to say, because somebody might say to you, Margaret, you're getting a little older. Why don't you move somewhere where, if there's an emergency, you need an ambulance, you need whatever, that is more convenient? Why wouldn't you?
Well, that's a hard question to ask. It's, when you're young and you want to move, it's different. But when you get old, you're sort of set in your ways. It's not easy to find people or make friends. Not
Mm.
as easy, right? That's not my reason not to move. I just don't want to move from here. You know, something.
Margaret, it sounds like you're set in your ways.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what is coming with this hurricane season? Maybe that will blow off my roof or something, and then I might have to flee.
What you gonna do then?
Right? So yes, and also we put in. I personally also put in a lot of work. All of us, the whole family here, with my husband's hobby, which was a little extraordinary. He was working in town, and we had the farm here, the
Mm-hmm.
pigs and the cows and the chickens. So we all worked with that, and so it's, yeah, it's my blood down here.
You still keep animals?
No, well, the
Mm.
cat.
Okay. Let me chat with Richard now and find out a little bit of your childhood and your memories of growing up down here in Mellows.
Yeah, man, very, very unique. As I could compare myself with, my peers at school from primary school and secondary school.
So where did you go to primary school?
A couple. I started out at Maryville,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Carrington there, and I
Mm-hmm.
think
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows
The
her,
one and only.
the one and only Miss Carrington, yeah. And then I was switched to St. Cyprian's,
Mm-hmm.
and then I passed for Lodge, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
a ex-Lodge boy.
Yeah.
And so when you get together with your friends, you chat about what you did on weekends and stuff. And most people would kind of, because most of my friends lived in dense city populated areas, they all hung out together and did things, boys would do. Whereas down here, I just had my brother more or less, to get out of here, as you know, like walking up that hill,
Yeah.
waiting forever to catch a bus, which we have done, but it is not the, is you waste a lot of time doing that. We stayed here on the farm. We played games. We have no fences, no boundaries. We just wandered. Kind of when I think of those days compared to today, if in summer holidays, we were not around. My mom didn't know where we were. I mean, she knew we were
Somewhere in the area.
but we were out. Then when you're hungry, you came home, that kind of thing, So I really appreciated that. I've always liked that quietness and that space. And I love the idea of having that option to go to the noise or go to the out there into town. A lot of people they live in that option, and the option to find that peace and tranquility only comes with the decision, oh, let's go to the east for a picnic.
Right.
I like it the other way around. Let me have the picnic right through. And when I want the action, go to the action,
Let's deal with some of the real challenges now of living in this area, because just trying to get to you this morning was a major challenge. Talk to me about the
Did
roads.
you come down this?
We came diverted, went to,
Yeah.
but talk to me about the roads.
Well, the roads have been bad here all the time, all these years. And we had trouble getting the people, and very often they would do something down there or up there, and then they run out of material, and we had to live with potholes all our lives here, really. And it was, I don't know, we get used to it. I had a neighbor down there, Mrs. Edgell. She used to come with her car flying up, and she hit somebody's sheep at one point, and and she said, but if you fly over the potholes, your car isn't getting damaged. You fly over the potholes, which was actually true. They were so bad that when you come slow, but that's what she said, right? And she really, yeah. So it was forever bad, and now you have to go and see it there now.
Yeah. What we're going to do, hopefully, Kofi took some photos. I'm not sure if it's video of a part of the road is completely broken away. My goodness. What would you like to see, Richard, happen to this beautiful area in Mellows?
Well, that's a really interesting question. As in, we like the peace and quiet. So on one side, if this was a beautiful, immaculate road, it would get busy with lots of traffic, and I am not a fan of that. But if it were to happen, great. We live quite simply here. It's just about just having a usable road. Like the thing that kind of nerves me is that every year around election time, we get promises. We get promises my whole life. I'm 50 years old now, and we've had promises. Yes, we can do it. Yes, we can do it. And never, not once, but never did we get it. Ever. We begged, just bring some marl. No. Just, yes, we're coming with it, marl. Never. This is not last week or 2 months ago. This is years, my lifetime. And when they do bring marl, they start from above that damaged area. You know why the road is better to the top half? Because that's the only part they patch and deal with. They ignore everything down here. And look, I understand very few people live down here. It's not very cheap to do this, to fix the road. I understand. We're not asking for that. We're asking, please be humane, man. Put something so we don't scrape the bottom of the car every time we drive up. My mom doesn't even want to drive out anymore because of the road. Right? It's just not fair. Then we still pay road taxes. We still do all of this. It is really not fair. So I would just like whoever is responsible for this to please just help us out here, man. Help us out.
Wow. So we're going to take a break for news, but you couldn't want it said any more clearer than that. The beautiful parish of St. Joseph. We are in Mellows, and yeah, the roads are bad, but the people, so beautiful. Maurice?